Hello, my name is Nell, and today I'm giving an update to a situation I spoke about 2 months ago, about an Australian female predator. I spoke about her in a video about female predators in general, but in particular my disgust at the way the media was portraying this particular predator in the lead up to her trial. In that video, I named her openly, as did basically every other article about this situation. However, at some point in the beginning of her trial, I think it was, some sort of suppression order was placed on her name, and now we cannot name her openly, which is a little weird because even if you look back at old articles, she's openly named. But we cannot name her openly in any publications, and my YouTube channel counts as a publication. And I learned that even posts on social media, including comments on social media, can count as a publication and be in breach of a suppression order. So please be careful in your comments. Don't name names, even though we kind of all know who this person is, especially if you are familiar with that previous video. There has been a verdict, and I want to talk about that today. I will give a content warning. I will be talking about molestation, abuse, and rape. If those things are too disturbing for you, if you feel unsafe and uncomfortable watching a video about those topics, there is no shame in finding something else to watch. Please look after yourself. And this video is coming on a day that's not my normal upload day, but I felt it was important to get this video up and filmed and out while I had the information so I can address it as quickly as possible. But before I get too far into it, hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say about disability, chronic illness, mental health, and occasionally current events. If that sounds like something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. Come back every second Wednesday when I upload new videos. Let me know what you think of my videos in the comments section, and if you know of somebody who would benefit from or enjoy one of my videos or the whole channel, please feel free to share a link with them. If you've been trying to find information and updates in this case and have been having trouble, which was my situation, it's because like I said, at a certain point in proceedings, there seemed to be a media blackout on this person's name. Instead of articles about social media influencer so-and-so and, her accusations, there were articles about a 46-year-old social media influencer. The description of the case was exactly the same, and it matched hers as it was mentioned previously when her name was mentioned, so it didn't really take a genius to draw the conclusion that it was the same person. In this video, I will not be mentioning her name. I filmed an entire video mentioning her name because I didn't think the suppression order applied to me because I'm not media. Then I did a little more reading and wanted to cover my butt. On Friday, the 27th of October this year, a 46-year-old social media influencer was found guilty on 2 counts of statutory rape, which took place in 2021 and for which she had pled not guilty. She was given no bail. According to an article on news.com.au, she sat stone-faced as the verdict was read out. However, she was later seen to be holding back tears and protesting her innocence, saying, "No, I didn't do this. Why?" Had she been in the same courtroom as everybody else? Had she witnessed the same trial? The trial where a tapped phone call was played in which she admitted that she was attracted to this young boy, this child. The trial where it was revealed that she had said to the young boy, "You're a man now. You're not a boy. You're obviously a man." The trial in which she admitted to kissing him and giving him alcohol. The trial which played a video of her performing a sexually suggestive dance for him. She had seen all of this play out in front of the jury and still couldn't understand how they had possibly found her not guilty, how she hadn't won, how she hadn't drawn them in and convinced them. A close family member reached out to me after seeing me speak out about the case and expressed their appreciation for how I was handling the case, how I could understand it for what it is and not for what the media was presenting it to be. And they gave me some extra insights, and they're allowing me to share some of those. Something they brought up mirrored something that I had pointed out in my first video, which I found to be kind of sickly funny in a way. And it was that so many of those previous articles seemed to be almost designed to promote the accused's wellness brand. They would mention her brand in an article. They would list her accused crimes and then be like, "Oh, but they have a wellness brand. on Instagram. Check out their Instagram. They would also brag about the size of their social media following as if that was something to be admired, as if that was relevant. She had built her platform on health and wellness. In that initial article that had caught my eye and immediately made me gag, she was referred to as the detox heiress. But allegedly, the clean living was all a facade. While she signed off her posts as her followers' life coach, behind the scenes, her own life seemed to feature drugs and alcohol. She admitted during the trial to having a long-term problem with alcohol and seemed to use it as an excuse for some of her behavior. And there also seemed to be dysfunctional relationships and abusive behaviors behind the scenes. It appears that her good reputation was all built on a lie. She was never to be trusted. This family member tried to raise awareness of her concerning behaviors for years, with no one listening. Not specifically the behaviors that were entailed in this trial, but the behaviors mentioned earlier, which meant that she should never have had a platform to begin with. And this liar, alleged liar, I have to say alleged because I only have this one other source to give me this information. But when the other source is a person who was just convicted of a crime that they had pled not guilty to, when all of the evidence pointed to guilty and they were just convicted of that, I know who I believe. I know which amount of information seems to be the most true for me. This alleged liar had the audacity to accuse her victim of lying. Only one person in that trial had something to gain from lying, and it was not that victim. The family member also pointed out something heartbreaking. This never had to go to trial. This never had to go to trial. The accused could have avoided this for everyone, not least of all her victim. She could have avoided putting this victim through even more pain, even more trauma, all of this exposure. But she couldn't help herself. Call it confidence, call it selfishness, call it delusion, call it narcissism. She had to say her piece. She had to get everyone's attention. She probably believed that she could still convince everybody, that she could still get them on her side, play them like chess pieces. The fact that it would traumatize her victim didn't seem to matter. Apparently, when her victim's statement was read out, she didn't show any emotion. Why would she? If she was willing to take his innocence and then take his dignity by bringing him to court, why would this further trauma matter? She'll be back in court in early February for her sentencing, and I can't help but think that she's probably viewing herself as the victim right now, wondering why everyone turned against her when she didn't deserve it, and wondering who she can play now and how to get her way. We've seen it before in female predators. There's almost a forced self-delusion or self-denial. They can't possibly be monsters or abusers or rapists because who in the world could say no to them? No, it must be everyone else in the world that's wrong. Meanwhile, this young boy's life has been destroyed. His family must be in turmoil, and hers has probably been ripped apart. And on her company's Instagram page, with pages and posts about alcohol detox advice, her face is still the profile picture. It would be funny if it wasn't so disgusting. Let's stay aware. Let's stay accountable. Let's stay safe, and remember that there is no such thing as looking like an abuser or looking like a victim. Pretty people can be monsters too. I'm also going to make something clear. If I see any comments speculating on the identity of the victim, I will be deleting those comments. I have mixed feelings about the 46-year-old social media influencer's identity being hidden, but I am absolutely in support of keeping the victim's identity hidden because they've been through enough. Give this child a chance of living a semblance of a normal life. That's all for this one. Thank you for listening and for learning with me, and my heart goes out to this victim, to his family, and for anyone and everyone who has been through a similar situation like this and for whom this might be bringing up some really hard feelings. It shouldn't happen, and the more we keep our eyes open, perhaps the more cases like this can be prevented. We can hope. Okay. That's all for this one. Thank you for sticking around, and hopefully I can give you an update in February. All right. Bless.